Hi Nicholas. Hi Kelly. I'm Tim. I'm going to give you a show and tell on your trailer. We have two 12-volt batteries on the front, two 20-pound propane cylinders that are full of propane except for what we use to service the trailer. The arrow on the regulator is pointed to this tank over here. It's showing you green inside the eye. As soon as this tank would happen to come empty, it will turn red, indicating that the bottle it's pointed to is empty, and it's having to pick up from this one over here. On the tongue jack, we have a hookup light for hooking up at nighttime. We have an up and down switch and a manual way that you can come through the rubber cap here on top and manually crank that up or down. For any reason, it won't go on its own. But before I take my manual crank handle out, I check the 30 amp fuse on the side of it to make sure that it's still good. It does have another hookup light here in the back for hooking up at nighttime. It's already got your saddles on the side of the trailer. In the front compartment here, it has a hookup light for putting stuff in and out at dark. It has a outside washer spray hose. Quick connects into this side over here. And you will have hot and cold running water on this side. But there is a spot on the other side that you can plug this into, and you got cold water only. I'll have to show you that when we get to the other side of the trailer. The top of the box is a 110 outlet that is GFI protected by the outlet in the bathroom. Then when you have a park cable hookup and a satellite hookup, a city water connect that you can hook to with the water hose and regulator, a battery disconnect for when you're not wanting the trailer to suck from the 12-volt batteries, you can turn this battery disconnect off and pull the key out. There is a hole here at the bottom that your water lines and cable lines can come up through so that you can leave the main compartment door shut. Freshwater tank fills here at the side, and the drain for it is right behind or right in front of the axle jacks. It does have the 4 balance jacks on all 4 corners. There is a manual crank handle in there for that. Lug nuts on the trailer has been torqued at 100 foot-pounds. Tires are air pressure, which is 80 pounds on the side of the tire cold. Does have a 50 amp power cord. It's 35 foot long. Plugs into the trailer or building over here. Sewer cap goes on. Sewer hose will go on just like the sewer cap does. Your 3-inch valve in the back is your toilet water. The first gray valve going towards the front is your kitchen sink water, galley. The second gray handle here in the back is your shower and outside faucet water. One more compartment here in the back. Pretty good size underneath the bunk area. But it is also where you will access to the back of your hot water heater and your water pump. Take the 4 screws out of this piece of paneling right here, accesses you right into the back of the hot water heater. On the hot water heater, there's 2 white valves that are sideways, allowing the antifreeze to make a loop at the back of the hot water heater. After you've run the antifreeze out, you'll have to turn those 2 white valves towards the hot water heater tank for it to fill with water. Your water pump sits off on the right-hand side of that. It has the same white valve as the hot water heater does, but the valve is in the position to suck from the antifreeze jug through the filter and pump and through the whole system of the trailer. It does have the black tank flush so that when you're dumping your black holding tank, you can actually hook onto this with a water hose and regulator and help flush out the inside of the black tank only. Hot water heater is the next one back. Hot water heater works 2 ways. Does have an electric switch in the lower left-hand corner on the outside for electricity. And there'll be a gas switch on the monitor panel on the inside. You'll want to pop the pop-off valve to make sure it's full of water before you turn on any source of heat, electric or gas. Does also have an anode rod. An anode rod is the drain plug for the hot water heater. Is your water going through the hot water heater will eat up the inside of the plug. Anytime the steel rod in the center is shown, it's time to replace it. And I always leave that out for 2 or 3 days to let the air dry up the rest of the water that's in the tank. It is prepped for a backup camera. It does have a spare tire on the back of the trailer. It is aired up to pressure, but it's not been torqued on, it's been put on with a wrench. Second set of steps for the bathroom door here in the back. That bolt's locked on it. Does have 2 low water drain points in front of the steps that are used for winterizing and de-winterizing of the trailer. That same blue spray hose on the other side will fit onto this connection here and give you cold water on this side. Does have 2 outside speakers. Next one up is the outside of the furnace. It's going to suck cold air in the top, hot air out the bottom. I always suggest putting a mud dauber screen over that for the simple fact that the mud daubers love that smell. They go in, they build their little dirt nest. It causes your furnace to not operate properly, does not breathe properly. There is a place for a 110 plug-in out here. Another place for the antenna on top for a TV. Does have a gas line down here at the bottom and is a quick disconnect. Outside refrigerator. The outside refrigerator is 110 only. It has to have 110 for it to work. Then you have your outside grill, slides out. Quick connect line, connects to the back of the grill, connects to the connection on the frame. When it connects to the connection on the frame, it does have a valve on top of it that has to be turned in line with the gas line for it to having gas coming from the propane bottles on the front. Then it has a little self-igniter that lights itself on the front of the grill. Grill cannot be pushed back in because it does have the hose coming off on this side over here. One more compartment on the outside. It is fixed for a solar panel to charge the battery on front of the trailer. The stuff in the box is the rest of the goodies for the hitch package on front of the trailer. 2 handles inside here. The little S-curved handle down at the bottom is for the front tongue jack. The bigger brass colored handle here at the top does all 4 of the balance jacks on the corners. There is a compartment light on either side. We're going to go back to the steps next. We're going to open the door all the way, fasten it back, puts it into place. On the steps, has a blue handle holding it to the top of the door frame. Going to bring it out, little push button on either one of the legs at the bottom. There's 15 holes or slots in the bottom of the leg so you can get any kind of contour to the ground. The main thing on the step is it has to lay flat in the threshold. That gives you your proper fit of your door over the top of it. To achieve that, you push up on the lever, let the legs go all the way up, let this come down till it sits flat in the threshold. Then you'll adjust your legs out accordingly. Then we're going to go to the inside. It does have a working fire extinguisher on the right hand side as we come in. We're going to push the slide room button and run the slide room out. It's good to make sure there's not a tree on this side of the room or a car has been pulled up along that side. We're going to go back up here to the battery button to test the battery button. Shows you it's fully charged. To get an accurate reading on the battery, have the 110 line unplugged. Your black tank is showing that it is empty. Freshwater tank showing 2/3 of a tank full left in it. Gray tank showing empty, which is your kitchen sink water. Gray tank 2 will be your bathroom shower and sink water. The first red button turns the pump on between the freshwater tank and the faucets. The second one is the gas side of the hot water heater. When you turn the gas button on, the little right light above it comes on. In about a minute's time, that red light will go off. Then the hot water heater goes through 2 lighting processes to light on gas. For any reason it does not light on gas, this little red light will come back on. First button here in the center turns your interior 4 lights on. Second one turns your awning lights on the awning. And then we'll run that awning out. Wanted to make sure I was going past the door. With the awning out, it has a pinch point on both arms. You can come out, pull down against this arm here, tighten up the black knob that puts the pitch of the rain coming off this corner of the awning. It has the same thing on the back arm, so you can put the pitch going off the back side of the trailer. But before you roll the awning back up, you want to loosen the black knob up, leaving it loose so that when the arms collapse, they fold back in with each other. We'll go back inside and we're going to run that back in because it is kind of windy out today. And when you're pushing the button, you want to make sure that you have the white of the canvas underneath the awning, the dark color over the top. You can run the awning completely out. It will overwind and wind itself up backwards. On the kitchen faucet, since the trailer is winterized, we leave the valve open on it so that if the antifreeze does slush up, it's got somewhere for it to push. But for it to have water, you have to turn it to one side or the other and pull back on the knob. Light above the sink has to be turned on by hand, the little push button in the center of it. We're going to go to the microwave next. It has a clock button on it. Let's say it's 2:30. Hit the clock button again till the 2 center eyes is flashing. The reason I set the time on the microwave is I can tell if the trailer's lost 110 power coming to it or not. It does have a light for the stovetop and a fan. Does have a glass stovetop. Folds up 2 times. Back up out of the way. Button on the far right hand side turns on. Lighten up your knobs. You'll turn to where it says high light position and hit the striker and they will automatically light. On the oven, you have to turn it to where it says pilot on. Hold the button down using the same striker. We'll light the oven. Sometimes it takes a minute for the gas to get down there. Now it's lit on the pilot. We'll let it run for just about a minute's time. And then we'll crank the pressure up on it. The oven lights on its own. No more getting out a long lighter or match to light the oven. If you flip the switch on the far right hand side down, you will also have light in the oven. So you can see the biscuits cooking. The brown vent on the cabinets are for the heat. Breaker box is next with your 50 amp main being in the center. Breakers are showed on the lid from left to right. Same way with your car fuses from left to right. Several spots on the fuse panel that are still open so you can add more 12 volt appliances to the trailer. Travel lock on the refrigerator door has to be open. 2 settings on the refrigerator. The one at the top determines the temperature in the freezer. The push buttons down on the bottom determines the cooling in the bottom of the refrigerator. It also has an on and off button. The on and off button is also your diagnostic button to tell you if for any reason the refrigerator is not cooling. You can test through the on and off button to tell what is wrong with it. Should be paperwork in the drawer for the refrigerator. Remote for the TV. 2 sets of keys. One purple key does the front door lock and deadbolt. The other purple key does the back door lock and deadbolt. And then you have a 751 key on either side. The smaller remote does the stereo. And all the rest of the paperwork that was found in the trailer is in the green bag. I think it got 42 channels on the TV. But that's a TV station that's 80 miles away. That's pretty good for an antenna on top and a booster. Pretty good sized pantry off on the right hand side of the refrigerator. Going into the bathroom area, there is a light switch on the wall that turns the lights above us on. A 110 outlet that is also your GFCI outlet in the bathroom. The brown vent on the side of the cabinet brings heat into the bathroom area. The round vent in the ceiling brings air conditioning into the bathroom area. You have a knurled knob in the fan in the ceiling. Open the knurled knob up, lifts the vent up. Black button turns the fan on. The light here in front of the mirror is a two-way light. You can either have it motion censored or on 24/7. Toilet has a single foot flush on the right hand side of it. Push halfway down, fills and dumps. Push all the way down and dumps into the holding tank. Your shower is just like you have at home. Hot and cold running water. Hot water on the left side, cold water on the right side. In the bunk area, both lights have to be turned on by hand. Little push button in the center of them. They will have a 110 outlet and a USB port for each one of the bunks. On the bottom bunk, the light's on the wall, but there is a fire escape window on this side over here. Pretty simple. Grab the red tab on the screen. Pulls the screen loose. This red handle here comes out and goes through the bottom of the window, all the way through the frame for access there. All the lights above the kitchen table and couch have to be turned on by hand. They all have a little push button in the center of them. There is a USB port between the kitchen table and the couch, and a 110 outlet underneath the kitchen table. Tabletop comes off the 2 pedestals, goes down between the 2 benches. 2 back cushions comes over the top of the table to make a smaller bed. Couch will butterfly out into a bed. A scissors bed. Butterflies out. Pretty good sized picture windows. I showed you the TV. We'll pick up 42 channels from there. There is a no remote for the fireplace. It does have to be operated by hand. The little remotes for the stereo does have an LP detector and carbon monoxide detector below it. Thermostat on the wall. We're going to turn it on. First thing it's going to do is tell you your fan speed, auto, high, low. We're going to go back to the auto position on that. We're going to hit the mode button one more time. It shows you a snowflake in the right hand corner. Hit the mode button one more time. It says furnace in the left hand side of the corner. Hit that mode button one more time and it's going to say off in the lower right hand corner. For the air conditioner, you'll dial your temperatures down. For the heat, you'll dial your temperatures up. It is a Fahrenheit and Celsius thermostat. For any reason it gets off on Celsius, you have to hold the plus and minus button at the same time, and it will switch back to Fahrenheit. In the bedroom area here, there is a light switch on the wall. There is another place for a TV, a 110 outlet to plug it into, and a connection for the park cable or the antenna on top. Does have another vent in the bedroom area. No fan, just a narrow knob. You have a 110 outlet on either side of the bed and a USB port on either side of the bed. The lights above the headboard have to be turned on by hand. Got a little push button in the center of those. And you do have another fire escape window in the master bedroom on this side here. Operates just like the one in the bunk area does. Red screen handle pulls the screen loose. Red handle here comes out and goes through the window all the way through the frame of the window so that you can escape out here. It has closet space at the top and a drawer on both sides, and it also has extra cabinet space at the top. Underneath the mattress, there's more storage in here underneath the mattress. Does have a round white vent in the ceiling for air conditioning coming into the bedroom. Does have a brown vent on the wall bringing heat into the bedroom area. That's just about everything on the trailer. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them the best that I can. Thank you for watching.